Rey, a scavenger from the planet Jakku, discovers a BB-8 droid that knows the whereabouts of the long-lost Luke Skywalker 30 years after Darth Vader and the Empire are vanquished. Rey is thrown into the middle of a conflict between the Resistance and the intimidating legions of the First Order, along with an errant stormtrooper and 2 smugglers. Luke Skywalker is no longer there. The evil First Order has emerged from the ruins of the Empire during his absence, and it will not stop until it has eliminated Skywalker, the last Jedi. General Leia Organa is the leader of a valiant resistance with the backing of the Republic. She is in a desperate search for her brother Luke in order to enlist his assistance in putting the galaxy back on the right track. On a covert mission to Jakku, where an old ally has found a clue to Luke's whereabouts, Leia has dispatched her most daring pilot. Poe Dameron meets with Lor San Tekka in a hut as the First Order, led by the evil Kylo Ren, launches stormtroopers to attack a small village. He receives a tiny bag containing the Luke Skywalker route map. In addition to kidnapping Poe, Kylo Ren commands the stormtroopers to destroy the entire village of Lor San Tekka. The assault is led by Captain Phasma, a stormtrooper with armor made of chrome plating. Kylo Ren wields a fiery red lightsaber and wears a black mask. Poe's X-wing is damaged, making it impossible for him to flee, so the pilot places the map inside BB-8, a moving droid unit. He shoots at Kylo Ren, who blocks the blaster bolt with the help of the Force. Stormtrooper FN 2187 refuses to fire as Dameron is taken prisoner as the troopers massacre the prisoners. Meanwhile, BB-8 escapes capture by rolling across the sands. Rey, a young scavenger who is struggling to survive on Jakku, is encountered by the droid. Rey forages for Star Destroyer wreckage parts on the sands of Jakku and sells them to Unkar Plutt at his junkyard in exchange for food. She has obviously been on Jakku for a very long time based on the marks on the walls of her hut. She saves BB-8 from a scavenger Tito. She offers him a place to stay for the night because she can make out his beeps and whistles. Poe is unsuccessfully questioned by the First Order while aboard the First Order destroyer. Kylo Ren is enlisted to use the Force to coax information out of Poe regarding the location of the map. Despite his resistance, Poe eventually admits that the map is still on Jakku in his BB-8 vehicle. Captain Phasma confronts FN 2187 about his actions on Jakku in the meantime. He must bring his unused blaster in for inspection, reporting to her division, and ultimately reconditioning, per her instructions. Instead, FN 2187 makes the decision to flee. He rescues Poe because he needs a pilot to get off the Star Destroyer. The two then board a black First Order TIE fighter and flee. Poe changes FN 2187's name to Finn and skillfully pilots the ship to safety while Finn fires its blasters. The destroyer's lasers strike the fighter, causing it to crash land on Jakku. Poe appears to have perished along with the ship after Finn ejected, leaving only his jacket. Finn abandons his stormtrooper armor and wanders across the desert. He eventually makes it to Nema Outpost, where Rey exchanges scrap for food. While searching the town for water, Finn notices Rey being harassed by 2 of Unkar Plutt's goons who are attempting to steal BB-8. He starts to run to help her, but Rey uses her staff to easily fend off her attackers before he can get very far. She can certainly manage herself. When BB-8 notices Finn turning to face them, he informs Rey that Finn is sporting Poe's jacket, which they believe to be stolen. Finn is pursued by Rey, who then knocks him to the ground and questions him about the jacket. They learn from Finn that Poe was taken prisoner by the First Order and that he assisted Poe in escaping, but Poe was tragically killed. Rey is thrilled and impressed and believes Finn is a member of the Resistance, but BB-8 is saddened and rolls away. Finn tells her he is actually with the Resistance, but this is a lie. Rey informs Finn with excitement that BB-8 is on a covert mission. Rey is even more impressed when Finn reveals that BB-8 is carrying a map to Luke Skywalker, saying that she previously believed Skywalker to be a myth. BB-8 makes a comeback and warns Finn and Rey that they are in danger. Stormtroopers from the First Order are currently searching for Finn and the BB-8 droid. TIE fighters are called in and start to bomb and strafe the town as stormtroopers chase Finn, Rey, and BB-8 through Nema Outpost. They steal a garbage vehicle to get away from the First Order. The Millennium Falcon is in sight. While Finn controls the weapons, Rey sits in the pilot's seat. As they attempt to take off, neither is confident in their abilities, and their rough takeoff results in the destruction of a sizable portion of the town. The guns are hit and locked in a position that prevents Finn from killing the remaining fighter, but he is able to shoot down one of the pursuer fighters. In order to keep low and thwart the TIE fighter's tracking, Rey flies through the sunken ships in the Jakku desert, occasionally scraping through the sand. When the pursuing fighter locks onto their ship, Rey turns the Falcon out into the open and executes a flip, allowing Finn to fire successfully and down the remaining fighter. Rey then takes the Falcon into one of the Star Destroyers. They leave Jakku and continue on toward the larger galaxy. The Falcon needs an urgent patch because it hasn't flown in years and isn't in good condition. Rey starts working on the ship as Finn tells BB-8 that he is not a member of the Resistance but manages to persuade BB-8 to reveal the location of the Resistance base. The Falcon is subsequently captured and taken aboard a bigger ship. Finn fears that the First Order has taken them back. He and Rey hide in a hidden compartment as the Falcon is boarded, but Han Solo and Chewbacca are actually the ones doing the boarding. Rey is familiar with the ship's past and has learned how to fly and repair it. Despite the fact that Han is impressed, two more smuggler parties board the ship. Han is once more attempting to smuggle items, this time by transporting some menacing Rathtars. While Rey and Finn flee, Han tries to negotiate a settlement with the two smuggling organizations. In an effort to save Han, Rey tries to close the doors, but instead she opens the Rathtar container doors. When the Rathtars attack, devour the smugglers, and nearly capture Finn, Rey saves him by severing the creature's tentacles with a door. In the Millennium Falcon, the heroes flee, leaving their assailants behind. The newly discovered allies travel to the green planet Takodana to ask Maz Kanata, an orange-skinned alien, for assistance. They are discovered in the cantina by spies from the First Order and the Resistance. Kylo Ren dispatches troops to retake the map. Finn admits that he is not a member of the Resistance and decides to flee by boarding a ship headed for the Outer Rim out of continued concern for being captured by the First Order. A crying girl draws Rey to the lower level of the cantina, where she opens a box to find Luke Skywalker's lightsaber that was left behind in Cloud City. She sees a terrifying vision when she touches the lightsaber. Old Jedi like Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi can be heard in the dream. It passes swiftly. She has visions of Skywalker and R2-D2, the hallways of Cloud City, Kylo Ren surrounded by bodies and putting a mysterious figure's chest through with his saber, herself being abandoned as a child on Jakku, and finally Ren pursuing her in a snowy forest. General Hux addresses hordes of First Order stormtroopers at Starkiller Base, a snowy, mountainous planet. He angrily proclaims that the Republic is dead. The planet has an enormous trench around its equator and an aperture the size of a continent. From the planet's center, the base fires a huge red beam that travels through space before splitting into 4 smaller beams that each destroy a different planet. On populated planets, large crowds of people can be seen gazing up at the sky as their planet burns to the ground. Rey runs into Takodana Forest after rejecting Luke's lightsaber due to her terrifying vision. As the red beams can be seen destroying the other Republic planets, Finn and the others turn to face the sky. Kylo Ren's V-winged ship and other soldiers from the First Order start to land. Finn receives the lightsaber from Maz. Finn uses the lightsaber to defend himself from the stormtroopers as they come at him, but a stormtrooper knocks him to the ground, unnamed, but popularly referred to as TR-8R. The stormtroopers take Han, Finn, and Chewbacca prisoner. Rey attempts to use the blaster Han Solo gave her, but because she is inexperienced and scared, she fumbles with the safety and fires errant shots that reveal her location. She retreats further into the forest, overwhelmed. She directs BB-8 to keep going while she tries to fend off their assailants as he follows. Rey is pursued by Kylo Ren through the forest. She makes frantic attempts to fire on him with the blaster, but he easily fends them off as he pursues her through the forest. He uses the Force to stop her from moving forward as she does. Ren uses the Force to read her mind and learns that she has seen the map showing the location of Luke Skywalker. As Finn watches, he decides he no longer needs BB-8, so he knocks her out and carries her away in his ship. Arriving X-Wing fighters from the Resistance dispatch the final soldiers. General Leia Organa and C-3PO arrive on the scene in a troop ship. Despite being reunited, Han and Leia's relationship is tense. Kylo Ren is revealed to be their biological child. The heroes head back to the Resistance base, where Finn meets Poe Dameron, who survived the crash on Jakku, and they are reunited. R2-D2 and C-3PO are present when BB-8 meets them again, but R2-D2 has been inactive ever since Luke left many years ago. In order to survive, the Resistance soldiers start making plans to attack the Starkiller base. Finn says he used to work at Starkiller base and knows how to disable the shields, and he wants to save Rey. Han and Leia say their goodbyes as the X-Wings led by Poe Dameron prepare to attack a weak point on the base. Leia asks Han to bring their son home if he sees him as they part ways. Rey awakens on Starkiller base to discover herself chained to a chair similar to the one we saw earlier in Poe's interrogation scene. During their conversation, Kylo Ren takes off his mask and reveals his young attractive face to her. Ren uses the Force to read Rey's mind. He senses her isolation on Jakku, her fantasies of an exotic island, and her closeness to Han Solo. Despite her hostile response, she can't seem to stop him from knowing what's going through her head, but he encounters an unexpected obstacle when he tries to draw the map's information from her mind. Rey not only manages to withstand his further prodding but also forces his way back into Ren's mind and expresses his fear that he will never be as powerful as Darth Vader. This, combined with her obvious Force prowess, shakes Ren, and he flees to meet with Snoke to get advice on what to do next. The Supreme Leader, who is only revealed as a massive hologram of an old and scarred man seated on a throne towering over them, reprimands Kylo Ren and General Hux for failing to retrieve the droid and Ren's failure to penetrate Rey's mind. Now that she is aware of her Force abilities, Rey uses the stormtrooper guarding her cell to her advantage by using the power of mind tricks to get away. She enters the hangar through the Starkiller base covertly in order to leave. To avoid the shields, Han and Chewie detach from the planet's hyperspace and crash land in the snowy forest. Finn says he only returned to save Rey and has no idea how to take down the shields. Captain Phasma is captured, and they make her lower the shields. Finn, Han, and Chewbacca set out to find Rey, but when they spot her climbing a base wall, they quickly realize that she has freed herself. They hurry over to greet her. When she learns from Chewbacca that it was Finn's idea for them to come to the base to save her, she is shocked that they would return for her and hugs Finn. When Poe and the X-Wing fighters arrive, they start to torpedo the weak spot, but it is insufficient. Han and Chewbacca come up with a creative solution to blow it up instead by planting explosives. To place explosives in various places, they dispersed. When Kylo Ren learns that Rey has escaped, he becomes furious. He looks all over the base for Rey. Han notices him as he stalks onto a catwalk. On the catwalk, Han comes up to him and addresses him as Ben. When his father asks his son to accompany him back, Ren offers his lightsaber, but when his father activates it to kill him, he pushes his father into the pit. Chewbacca, who has been listening to the entire conversation, shoots Ren, striking him in the side, before setting off the explosives. Finn and Rey are confronted by Kylo Ren in the snowy forest. Ren cuts himself and begins to bleed, but he still draws his red, fiery saber to fight. Rey raises her blaster to fire at Ren, but he uses the Force to push her into a tree, where she falls unconscious. Finn rushes to her aid before engaging Ren with the blue lightsaber. Finn quickly realizes that he is inferior. Ren is touched by him with the saber, but this only makes him angry. As Finn is being burned by Ren's saber, Rey is roused by the sound of his screams. Finn is quickly disarmed by Ren, who throws the saber into the snow. The lightsaber is then drawn to him using the Force. It flies past him after hurtling towards him. When Ren turns around, Rey is holding the lightsaber. They start to argue. At first, Rey fights desperately and ineffectively before starting to flee from Ren. He chases her and forces her up against a cliff. Ren offers to teach her about the Force, but this only serves as a reminder for her to use its strength. She takes a brief moment of meditation before attacking Ren with renewed vigor and strength. Ren's saber is quickly put out by her, and she also cuts him across the face and on the arm. R2-D2 awakens at the Resistance base and shows the location of Luke on the piece of the map that was missing. While Finn continues to be unconscious, Rey bids him farewell. Rey assumes the pilot's seat as they depart in the Falcon with Chewbacca. They take off for the planet shown on the map, and there Rey carefully scales a rocky outcropping. When she reaches the top, she discovers an aged Jedi with a metal hand who is cloaked and bearded. Luke Skywalker is who it is. Rey hands him the lightsaber without saying a word, and that's the movie Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I hope you enjoyed this recap. If you do, please hit like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.